And Sayé is going to ask questions, and we're working more on spring into awakening. That's what we named it. It's more of if you have any questions about awakening, and that's what Sayé is. I actually don't know what the questions are going to be.
No, we don't know.
So it's going to be more about, I'm assuming, how we can do it, what we can do. So usually when I channel, I will leave consciously, and you will see me close my eyes, and my guides usually come in, but it feels like there's going to be someone maybe higher than that coming in today, but again, we will find out who comes in, and we will be able to see what they can tell us about, not necessarily the future, or what is it that we as humans can do at this moment in time to help us all here prepare maybe ourselves or grow. I'm always for growing, and they're always saying that we're here to grow, we're here to learn, and that's what we're going to find out today. So Sayé is almost done with figuring it out, just to make sure we're not echoing on different platforms. Okay.
Hello, 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 hello.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you so much for being here. Hello everyone. We have TikTok and we have Facebook Live. And today is the Spring Equinox, the first day of spring. Thank you for being here, Sophia.
What a beautiful day we picked.
Such a special day, and it's also a Persian New Year. So many wonderful things happening today. So as you guys just joined us on TikTok, Sophia, she is a dear friend, and she's very talented in tapping into other realms. She's a channel, and also she does past life regression by utilizing the quantum hypnosis, quantum healing hypnosis technique, the Nowruz technique. For those of you who already know her, for some of you that don't know her, you can get a hold of her. She can also do it remotely.
We cannot do it remotely, but channeling I do remotely. Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So hello again, and we're going to jump in, and there are going to be wonderful energy surrounding this conversation. And the people who are watching it live, please get a glass of water and enjoy this ride, enjoy this frequency. And for those of you who are watching it after, you will still benefit equally from it. So I am going to jump in and ask Sophia some questions. She does not know my questions. I have done it on my own without her knowledge. So it's something, I know even that she's very curious.
I am. But I always ask, don't tell me the questions, because I want to make sure that the answers are pure, meaning that I'm always conscious of my conscious mind being in the way and putting in its 5 cents. So if I don't know the question, my conscious mind doesn't know it, then I know for sure, okay, that's them responding.
Wonderful. So here we go. Sophia, where were you born?
Okay, I was born in Moscow, Russia.
Moscow, Russia.
Yeah.
And previously worked as a successful accountant.
I worked for an accounting firm. Funny enough, I never worked as an accountant.
Okay.
Yes, I worked for a top 4 accounting firm, but more in finance. Yes, but I am an accounting major. Yeah.
So how would you describe your current occupation?
I help people heal themselves, because none of it, me personally, as a practitioner, I can't do anything unless the other person chooses to receive, right? So whether it's hypnosis, we reach the all-knowing part of the client, the subconscious is the Nowruz holder, or the higher self, and again, the higher self does the healing. I'm strictly the guide, same as channeling, because they are able to help people heal as well, but in a slightly different way. And I also feel like I'm strictly the guide. I'm strictly there to help people heal themselves.
Wonderful. I just want to do one check, make sure people can hear you.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. If you guys cannot hear us, please say something. I'm not seeing any comment. They're going to check here.
Let us see. Just want to make
Greeting
sure.
from Colorado. Okay, we have
Just checking in. It's interesting finding out and learning new things. So this is a new, I have never been Facebook, live on Facebook before, so.
So we are back here. So the rest of the question, so you help people heal as long as they allow it. And you utilize channeling?
Yes.
And channeling, who do you channel?
Usually my guides come first. My guide is male, he is very direct. And then throughout the session, other guides, let's say your guides would be there, whoever I'm channeling for. This is going to be collective channeling, so might be someone even higher come in. Well, not necessarily higher. Again, that's how our human minds think. But let's say someone from extraterrestrials, let's say, because I'm like trying to tread lightly, right? They might come in because it's more of a collective messages and questions today. So we'll see. But if I'm doing it one-on-one, your team comes, my team comes, but it's all about you, right? Because we're channeling for you, and then at the end, actually your team takes over.
Wonderful, thank you for that. When in your own personal life, when you receive guidance from God, from your guides, do you always follow it?
Oh, no, I do not.
What happens when you don't?
Sometimes they'll push back, and for me, if I'm not following it, I will at some point stop and be like, okay, what is it within me that's not allowing me to follow? Most likely it will be fears. And then I work on the fear.
That's a big energy for humanity that needs to be transmuted and released. Fear.
Fear is big, yes.
It's a big one. We're all working on it in some level.
Yes.
In my experience, it has not been a point that I'm like, okay, I'm done with it. It's just in layers and layers that it comes.
But it's very human. So it is okay to be in fear. It's a question of what do we do with it?
I'm reading my questions. Yes. I also noticed that your body moves, your hands move when you're channeling. Are you aware of it? Is this something that is out of your control, or could you stop it? How does that?
I probably can stop it, but I don't pay attention to that. Sometimes they will show me visuals, so maybe that's what they're trying to recreate them for whoever I'm channeling for.
Are you present? Like, if I ask questions, can Sophia?
Yes, I can still come back. Yes.
So, but has there been a time that they blocked you out for not hearing their guidance to someone?
No.
No. So you're always present.
So when I was starting to do it, I would filter them. Like, let's say they'll say something like, we're always here, and my conscious mind will be like, that's too creepy. I'm going to say this. So we've had conversations when they were like, no, you need to, because my conscious mind does not know what you need. They do, and you need to hear it, right? Even if my conscious mind will think it's creepy, you'll be like, oh my God, this is just what I needed to hear. So that's why I try to step back and go away as far as I can, so that I do not bring in my 5 cents, because my conscious mind knows nothing. My conscious mind only knows what I know now and the past of this life. They know so much more.
Do you get tired? Does it wear you out?
I will get more kind of sleepy.
Sleepy? Afterwards?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's kind of being, if any of you have hypnosis done, kind of like after hypnosis, because you're going into that in-between state. It's the same way I'm going kind of in-between state. So more sleepy, but then the energy goes back up.
Beautiful. Is there anything else you want them to know before we ask the guides to step in?
Yes, yes. I would ask that whatever information comes, take from it what resonates for you. You don't have to agree with what they're saying, with what they're saying, right? Or disagree. It's kind of take what resonates. If it doesn't resonate, you're like, you know what, this does not work for me, and that's absolutely okay. And this is recorded, so if you feel, you can always come back and listen to it again and be like, still doesn't resonate with me, or you're like, oh my God, I understand it so much better now. So all I'm asking is for you to be open. So let's do it.
Thank you for that. Let's go ahead and invite the guides in.
Yes, we are here. We can start.
Thank you for being here on such a special day, first day of spring, Persian New Year's, Nowruz, and Spring Equinox.
Yes.
Do you have anything to have any message, opening message in regards to the energies that are currently surrounding us during such unique time?
We would say no resistance. Do not resist. What we mean by that, and we've used this analogy before, imagine you are in the ocean. What we will ask is that you ride the wave rather than standing and just allowing it to hit you. Do you understand? When you ride the wave, you ride the emotions, you ride the energies. What is happening is you allowing what is to just happen and be. So ride the wave. Sometimes you will feel not your best. Sometimes you will feel like nothing is going your way. We will say, trust that what is happening with you is happening for your benefit, no matter how it looks on the outside. Because the conscious mind would not know what to expect.
The energies, could you tell us why is it that the energies are more potent today around the spring equinox?
Well, we will say it's not strictly spring equinox. It's a combination, if we're specifically talking about this day, of this time.
Yes.
Because there are also planetary shifts happening. And they are happening for a reason. Therefore, the spring equinox just brings in a renewal of energy, a beginning, a rebirth of something new, which happens every single year. But you can use that energy for your own rebirth. You can use that energy to let go of things. And the energies in general within the past while, we would say, we should explain. If you look at your life, you will notice that there was a major push within the past, we would say 5 years, for you, each one of you, to move forward and grow. If you chose not to resist, that push might have been easier. It forced you to look at your life and completely change your view of what is happening around you. That was meant to happen. These energies now are here to continue pushing you into the new direction more and more onto your path. It is still your choice in order whether or not to go there, but you will continuously be pushed. That's why we ask, do not resist. Allow things to be and you will see how they will unfold. We do not mean to say that nothing unpleasant will ever happen to you. It might look unpleasant, but it's all up to you how to receive what is happening to you.
You mentioned use these energies to release unwanted emotions.
Yes.
Could you give us a practical tools how to do that?
Practical tool would be to look at your emotion. Humanity has come to the point where you no longer look at your emotions, you prefer to stuff them. Again, not everyone, we're not saying everyone is doing it. Therefore, this is the time where you start feeling uncomfortable. Something is off. You will feel that something is off, but you can't necessarily see it. The conscious mind will make up things like, I didn't drink my coffee today. My partner does not satisfy me. Whatever it is coming up with, because the conscious mind is trying to find something, an explanation. But if you sit with those uncomfortable feelings, what we mean by that, sit in the quiet. You can, if you wish, meditate, or strictly sit in the quiet and allow the emotion to come in. Allow it to be within you and be conscious of what the emotion is and where is it in the body. In a way, what you're doing is you're learning who you are. You are becoming more in touch with yourself. Write about it if you wish, or analyze it, but not from the standpoint of blaming someone else for it. Yes, you can say it's Mercury retrograde. Yes, you can say that, but it's the opposite. You have requested as a soul for Mercury retrograde to trigger a specific emotion, a specific feeling that is meant to push you into growing and learning.
Beautiful. Who am I speaking with?
We are the Council of Seven.
Would you elaborate on that?
We tune in once in a while to help out the humanity by strictly giving guidance. We watch and we help out. Our job is to think about it this way. Our job is to find an open channel that will allow us to speak through it. There are many. This channel is not the only one. We speak through different ones. Those that will allow, we do not bring any harm to the channel. We do not bring any negativity to the channel. We strictly use it to help bring information that is needed at that point in time. Your time, meaning we have no time, but we use it your reference of time.
Council of Seven, Galactic or Angelic Realm?
We are an angelic realm.
Well, welcome. Thank you so much for honoring us and giving us some tips and coming through today.
You're very welcome.
At this point, at this junction, what is the purpose of humanity right now, living on the planet Earth as a collective? What purpose are we sharing?
The purpose that you are sharing is to learn who you are. To learn to go within. Many things are happening around the world. We understand that. We understand that you sympathize, empathize with everything that's happening. But ask yourself, how is it affecting you? Is it affecting you? If it's not, go within and find out who you are. There are certain people, certain groups in this world that have chosen to go through an experience. When we say chosen, you don't consciously choose to go through an experience. That is a higher mind, call it a soul level decision to go through an experience. Therefore, those who chose to experience war will be experiencing war. Those who chose to experience something different will experience different things. But as a collective, what you're here is to learn who you are.
This is a great point, bringing me to the question that there are a group of people, some people, that we all have our own journey that we have signed up for, that they are displaying their inherent kindness. However, they are not really interested in going within and being an active participant in their ascension. What do you have to say for those group, and how do you foresee life unfolds for them this lifetime if they resist going inward?
Every single one of you have chosen to come in at this lifetime. Everyone has a purpose. People who do resist, we would like to say this. It is very difficult to resist and resist and resist and resist. Do you understand? Whether or not you want to, and you're talking about a specific group of people, even if you on the outside, as you look at them, do not see them growing, they are. They don't have to be spiritual. They don't have to understand things the way, let's say, that you understand life, or this vessel that we speak with understands life, because they have their own purpose. Everyone has their own purpose. Not everyone has to do the same. Do you understand?
I do understand. I also think that it's kind of like it's an invitation, and if the invitation is declined, it's kind of either we drag you or either you go willingly. Kind of either we drag you or either you go willingly.
So usually we shall explain how it works.
Yes, please.
If the soul has chosen to experience, sometimes the soul chooses to experience resistance. There is no judgment. There's no such thing that one is doing right and another one is doing wrong. It is all just an experience. The soul can choose to experience, to resist, and it can choose strictly to resist everything. And that could be an experience. The soul can choose to go through, as an example, coming into very religious family and to experience release of that and the feeling of freedom. We're not saying that religion is bad, we're just saying that it's different. Do you understand? Meaning going from one to another. If the plan was different, if the plan was not to resist, but the conscious mind resists, because this is the conscious mind's world, and the conscious mind has taken so much that the inner world, the inner higher mind is not heard at all. You would also call it an intuition. At some point, when the soul realizes that there's nothing more it can do in order to shift the conscious mind into no more resistance, the soul will decide to leave. Which means, for humans, death. Not always, but yes.
Death meaning the energy transforms to another form.
Yes.
Beautiful.
From the human perspective, a person, the body dies, yes.
As we evolve during such an intense time, beautiful, exciting time, I am very grateful to be alive this life and participate in this acceleration. How does our physical body evolving, let's say in the next decade or two, what will be the major changes in our physical body?
Very much depends on where everyone is, but it all stands for your mind. The physical body, again, are we talking about the best case scenario? Because every single person are on their own journey.
Yes.
If we're talking about the best case scenario, and we will take one person rather than many people.
You could make an example of me if you wish.
We shall do that then. If you choose to ride the wave rather than resist, you will find that we're strictly sticking to the body. We don't know if your example will be the best, mainly because you already keep your body in very good condition. But we shall go with what we were given.
Yes, please.
The body will be lighter, less food will be required. You will also have a direct understanding that everything comes from the mind. Therefore, if anything is in pain within the body, you will already know it and understand what it means, because any pain, ache, or pain is a message in a way from the higher mind that something needs to shift in the conscious mind. Do you understand?
Yes, it's a feedback.
Yes, so that, again, that's the best case scenario, that there will be such a connection that you will be able to understand it right away and think about it as healing yourself instantaneously by hearing and understanding what the message is and saying, okay, I understand what the message is, I shall change accordingly. Or I will work on it and I'm working on it. Work on it and I'm working on it. Do you understand?
Yes. How do you see the new way of expansion of energy healing to be incorporated alongside with Western medicine and Ayurvedic and all those other wonderful things? Do you see energy healing, sound healing impactful?
Yes, very much so. Again, it will take time. It is shifting very slowly, and you will see resistance from your governments.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that, but we will say this, we do not mean to start a revolution, but as a humanity in general, or let's say we're speaking from the northern part of America through this vessel. Let's say as a group here in this country, you finally realize that you are stronger and bigger than your government. Only then you will be able to make bigger shifts. You are already starting to understand this. It will still take some time. The Western medicine will need to be transformed, and it will take time. But there's more and more people who are turning to other modalities, other ways of healing and understanding that everything comes within, from within. That's why we are saying, find out who you are. Because once you know who you are, it is a process. It is not going to be one and done. Mm-hmm. It is a process of your whole life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Therefore, as you're learning from the inside who you are, you will also start understanding your body, hearing it and understanding it better. And the more you understand it better, the less you will have a desire or a need to go to a Western doctor
mm-hmm.
and say, give me pills. Again, it is still needed for some because of their beliefs, and it is absolutely fine.
Mm-hmm.
That is the beauty of Earth. Everyone has their own path. Everyone has their own beliefs.
Beautiful. Now that you brought the attention to the government and Western medicine and the big pharmas who are, controlling, what do you have to say in the recent case of the young man Luigi Mangione and the United Healthcare representative?
We will have to stop you right now because we do not get into happenings on Earth. Do you understand?
Yes.
We do not have an opinion for it. Because everything is happening strictly because the humanity has chosen to have it. We hear the conscious mind saying, well, I did not choose this. You did not choose this consciously. But your thoughts, what's your thoughts? Many things are being created. You're creating everything around you by your thoughts. And then joined thoughts of a group of people can also create certain things, and so on and so forth.
Yes. Okay, we can divert from that. I would like to speak about the dream state.
Yes.
Recently, I had a dream a very vivid dream of my DNA, and I saw the double helix, and it started repairing with gold at the end, the telomeres, and they were big and beautiful, and the telomeres, and they were big and beautiful, and the gold was shiny, and I want to understand the meaning of that, and I want to know how, as humanity, we can utilize our dream state for healing purposes and understanding.
Which one would you like us to start with? Specifically for your dream or as a whole?
The meaning of the dream,
yes,
and then the whole.
Very well. Think about it as you were shown that the path that you are going on, or where you are at right now, you are being validated that you are opening up. We will call them new portals, meaning new possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
As you open up your mind and you move forward, more possibilities are opening up for you. As well as you learn, think about that knowledge being built onto your DNA. You are unlocking it. It was already there, but you are unlocking it. So this is a validation for you that you are on the correct path, going forward and unlocking what needs to be unlocked. Do you understand?
Yes.
As far as using the dream state,
Mm-hmm.
you can very much use the dream state for healing. Remember, each one of you has a team behind.
Mm-hmm.
It is your guides. Some of the guides are your ancestors, not necessarily from this lifetime. You also have the higher mind that is your compass that was within each and every one of you. It is there to guide you. We would like to say something about that. You are not meant to be guided to only wealth and only being happy all the time. You are here to learn different lessons. Therefore, you can choose to be happy all the time, no matter what. It's a choice. What your inner compass is guiding you to is to go through the lessons that you have chosen to learn. Again, you as a higher mind.
Beautiful.
Therefore, you can use your state, your dream state, to talk to the self if you wish. How do you do that? Before you go to sleep, you have a few minutes before you fall asleep. When you are in that state, when you're closer to your higher mind, you can ask for healing at night. Put an intention, I want healing. Put an intention, I want to find an answer to this. Whatever your question is, talk to your guides, talk to your team, tell them, I have this problem, please help me, send me a message. A message can come in a dream, yes. Or it can come any other different way.
So we have to listen.
You have to listen and follow your intuition, because the message can come from a video that you watched on a YouTube. It could be a 2-hour video, but the message was 1 minute. And you will notice it. Your mind will pick it up, as long as the conscious mind does not put it aside. How does it do that? The mind picks it up, but the conscious mind, if there's fear, will say, not relevant. Therefore, we always say, please be open and mindful of your thoughts. We're coming back to the same thing, fear.
So we could ask, please help me release unwanted emotions.
Unwanted emotions, fear including. You can ask, why does my knee hurt? And listen to a response. You might not get a response right away and fall asleep. And you might get a response as you sleep. Or you might get a thought in the back of your head. It is a matter up to a conscious mind to believe that thought is your higher mind. Many of you do lots of beautiful work while you sleep. The conscious mind does not even know it.
You mentioned about all of us have our guides, our support team, and we are never alone. Do you have anything to add about the Phoenix guides during this time?
Specify, please.
My understanding is that there are some changes for a group of people, for certain people, that Phoenix guides are stepping in.
Yes, depending on what is happening in your life, yes.
What is specific about Phoenix guides? What is their specialty?
We do understand it's going to sound as a cliche. Phoenix is a bird of rebirth. Not think about it as they're there when you are, for a few people, they are there when it's time to completely change your reality. To help you deal with it, because it is a very strong energy, very protective energy. Especially if you don't feel protected in this lifetime for whatever reason, human reason. It is a very protective energy that is called upon if shift is needed. Not everyone gets that energy. Some people need it, some don't. Did we answer your question?
Yes, it's a good start, I shall say. I would like to shift our conversation to one of my favorite topics, the galactic connections. I would love to know what percentage of humanity currently have hybrid children in the universe.
We would say quite a large percentage. One moment. It is quite a large percentage. We do not wish to put a number on it, but it is a very large percentage.
Is it more than half of humanity?
Yes.
Does that include men and women? Or just women?
Both.
Both.
Women are easier, so to speak, are more willing to participate. Does that make sense?
Yes, and these women who are willing to participate, what percentage is knowingly participating?
Very small.
Very
You mean on the conscious mind?
Unconscious mind.
Very small. Some have an understanding, or it looks more of a dream state. Many of them have met their children within the dream state. But they have an understanding, but the conscious mind does not necessarily know what to do with that information, so it is kind of put aside. Because in a way, the conscious mind will put it as, well, it's not real. I don't know what to do with this information. But yes.
I understand from a human mind, we look at good, bad, duality.
Yes.
Is this hybridization? Is this beneficial for the highest good of all?
It is for the highest good of all, yes. But again, depends who's looking at it. Is that so? Because humans have many different beliefs, many different opinions. And nobody's opinion is wrong. Therefore, whoever is looking at it, depending how they look at it, that's what it will be, and it will be absolutely correct and right for them. But it is for the highest good of all, based on where we are and how we are looking at it.
Many people are becoming activated to speak light language.
Yes.
What benefit does this ability brings to humanity?
Every person who will hear a light language, think of it as an activation of a specific part of the DNA as well. Some will feel it more than others. Some will feel energy coming in. It will be, in a way, like a buzzing in the head. Some will even remember how to do it themselves as they hear it. Some will start understanding it because it is their language. It is an activation tool, to be short.
And this activation, how does it benefit for someone who is, for example, is not aware of the light language, and someone who speak to them, how this could benefit the other person? Is there any benefit to it?
There's always a benefit. Conscious mind is still in charge. We would like to point that out. If the conscious mind decides to be specifically resistant, it can still be. But deep inside, even the conscious mind will have an understanding that there's something there, I don't know what it is, but I'm choosing not to look at it and refuse to acknowledge it. There will be those who will activate. What do we mean by activate? They will start feeling differently or seeing life slightly differently. Let's say they will no longer feel as heavy. Heavy within the body, heavy in their hearts as they activate. Because activation is just also a helpful tool to move you in your growth.
Yes. It feels like it's a tool to de-densify.
Yes.
Beautiful.
But it has, again, mind is very much the drive for everything. So as we use different tools to activate the humanity, and the higher mind will try and bring each and every one to a possibility to hear. There are many different tools to activate. But yes, you mentioned one, light language. So we will try and bring as much as we can. Not everyone's conscious mind will be willing to do it.
Mm-hmm. And are there different, like I've heard, Atlantean-like light language, dragon-like language? Could you please speak on that, the differences and?
It's just different language, like you have different languages.
Hmm.
It's the only difference is it will activate those who had lifetimes.
Mm-hmm.
But we would also like to point out, we are looking at it from how humans look at it as chronological.
Mm-hmm.
You had previous lifetimes. No, they're all happening at the same time. Therefore, if you hear, let's say, light language of a specific race, let's say a Victorian, even fairies have a light language. As you hear it, in a way, what's happening is you are connecting to that lifetime, because remember, all of them are happening at the same time,
mm-hmm.
in different parallel realities.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, it is like a connection that you're making between the two.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Does Lyrans have a light language?
They communicate slightly different.
Different how?
Well, telepathy
Mm-hmm.
is the way they communicate. One moment.
Mm-hmm.
They used to have a language, but it was very, very, again, we're speaking from the human perspective time.
Mm-hmm.
Very, 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 very long time ago.
Mm-hmm. How many humans on Earth, what's a percentage, if you can give me a percentage, are actively serving as the ambassador to the Galactic Federation of Light, correctly?
We would say, in some form, all of you are.
Mm-hmm.
Some are just more conscious about it than others.
Mm-hmm.
Some do it more consciously than others. Again, each and every one of you are needed on Earth for a specific reason.
Mm-hmm.
From the conscious perspective, as you would look at a person, we'll give you an example. As you look at a person, you might see them as unpleasant
Mm-hmm.
and mean. But that only has to do with whatever their conscious mind is going through right now. But their energy was needed at this moment. Therefore, they are serving their purpose.
Yes.
So each and every one of you are. Some are more aware, some are less aware. That is it.
In what timeline, if you could give us a timeline, there will be a contact? There always has been a contact, but a contact that is publicly known from the Galactic Federation.
It will be soon, within a few years. Again, any prediction that you have has to be based on where the energies are at this moment. Therefore, we are very excited to see that the humanity is on the projection of it coming soon. A few years.
That is beautiful. So I'm going to shift the conversation to some topics that you may or may not want to comment on.
We shall see.
Okay, here we go. We observe that everyone coming in with a purpose, they're serving one way or the other. As you said, it could come across negative, but they are serving their purpose and their contracts.
Yes.
We are very interested to know about the agreement in a human level and a soul level that is between the individual Elon Musk and Donald Trump.
Again, that is something on the human level that we do not wish to participate in. The only thing we will say, and even us saying this, we see creating great controversy.
Mm-hmm.
Trust that everything that is happening around you is happening for your benefit. You do not see the benefit at the moment because the conscious mind does not understand certain things or see certain things. And when we say it's happening for your benefit, again, the conscious mind believes that only positive should be, only sunshine and
Rainbows.
You are here to learn, as well as the humanity as a whole is here to learn. What is it that you decide to learn is up to you. And the only way you can move forward is to focus on the self, focus on learning who you are, and trusting that everything that is happening around you is happening for your benefit. Even the people, specific people that you have brought in in your question are here to learn their lessons. But you're giving them much bigger importance, mainly because they are on TV or have power. But each one of you have tremendous power within you. We want you to understand that. Yes, those people have power and they move certain things based on their power, but so do you. Learn who you truly are. Those people are also learning who they truly are. They can resist or not. It is up to them.
But isn't it that some souls come in with more intense, bigger energy that they can utilize on Earth?
Yes, in a way you can put it that way. You all come in with a specific energy, but we understand what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Not to say that those people are any different from who you are. Again, they're still here to learn lessons, to understand.
Yes, at the end, we are all one.
Yes.
As souls choose the place of birth,
Yes.
and I have chosen this lifetime to be born a woman in the land called Iran.
Yes.
And in the latest years, as you can see, women are stepping into their power and making attempts to make a huge shift in Iran. Is there anything that you can speak on for the Iranian women and for the Iranian people? When will they be able to make this shift fully so they can live more freely?
We talked about prophecies. Everything changes too fast.
Yes.
We will tell you this.
Yes.
There has been on Earth for thousands of years now an imbalance between feminine and masculine.
Yes.
And that balance is being slowly put back. Iran is one of the places that it is slowly happening to. What we would say is this: trust that everything that is happening for the benefit. Do you understand?
I do understand. I also would love a message of hope for the...
That is the hope. The feminine will not be shut down. When we say, trust that everything is happening the way it should be, does not mean that everyone needs to put everything down and not do anything. That drive and that fire will still be within every female. Do you understand?
Yes.
But when you see things not going your way, trust that it is actually going your way because this is needed for whatever reason. You can ask yourself, what am I meant to learn from this?
Yes.
There are quite a lot of learning for that particular region.
Yes. How could we individually support the countries that are currently undergoing war, such as Ukraine, such as Palestine? How could we individually help them gain their sovereignty and have a peaceful outcome?
We understand that you're asking it from the very much human perspective. You're asking from a perspective, well, this is not fair, we need fairness. This is not right and this is wrong. There is no right or wrong. How can you support? With no hate. Because even within your question, you're already dividing. There's already division in your question. Because these are bad and these are good. There is no division. So the best way that you can is to have love. Without judgment. Do you understand? It might be difficult for humans to wrap around their minds because you're so used to arguments. Well, this one is right and this one is wrong. I'm going to be on this side, or I'm going to go and fight for this. What we would like for you to fight for is love. Unity rather than division. How can you do that? Work on your inner self. Once you're one with yourself and you see people as lights, beautiful lights, no matter what country they're from, no matter what religion they are, no matter what nationality they're from, without taking sides, just sending love to all. Sending love, that's it. In your meditation, sending love. If you choose to go and help out, go help out, but without judgment. You, we understand, have big goals, specifically you, to help. Yes, you can help one side, but without hating the other side. Do you understand?
Yes, so sending love to both sides equally.
Yes.
Accepting both sides equally.
As they are.
Agreeing with the...
Does not mean, but that's part of neutrality. You're not agreeing or disagreeing. Think about as children. Think about, you have two children. You are a mother. Your children are arguing. Yes, on a human level, you can choose to agree with one, disagree with another. Yes, you can. But what is a mother? Mother nurtures. Mother gives love equally. She loves unconditionally. Without the condition of, well, I love you because you do this and you don't do this, so I don't love you. No. Be like a mother. You have two children that are fighting. You can still provide love without taking sides.
So, for example, when I personally don't watch TV, but when someone watches the news or get dragged into this drama, would you think stopping and sending love to all parties would be beneficial, or what practical tool can you provide that we could implement as a human?
Meditation. Meditation should be, and yes, we're shooting on all of you. Not usually what we like to do, but we highly recommend, we'll say it this way. Meditation. Please don't allow your conscious mind to create this idea that it is something difficult. So many different ways to meditate. Nobody's asking you to meditate like monks for hours and days. It could be 2 minutes. You can start with that if you've never done it. Listen to music, listen to guided meditation. But start connecting to the self. Because you're asking questions on the global view, but everything starts with an individual. Think of how you, all of you, how do you treat those that are around you? Do you allow them to be who they are? Or are you constantly trying to change them based on what you believe they should be or how it will be better for them?
That's a big one.
Once you start working from the self, what those that are closest to you, once you start learning how to be unconditional, how to love unconditionally those that are around you, it will be much easier to love unconditionally on a global map or world. But it starts with the self. And loving the self unconditionally without judgment. And looking at the beliefs that you have that were given to you by your society, by your parents, by the school that you went to, and so on and so forth. Again, not to say that all of those people are bad. We're not saying that. We're saying that the soul has chosen to experience it, but now you're old enough to look at everything that was given to you, all the beliefs, and you can choose whichever one you want. You can choose not to love everyone. It is also a choice. But you will feel a lot more peace if you choose to accept people as they are without trying to change them. And to have unconditional love for everyone.
And when we speak of love, we're talking about love as a frequency, not love as a feeling or emotion towards someone.
Well, that is in a way the same. When you have love for someone, it is a frequency.
And one of the things that I would love to get your feedback on, setting boundaries. As human, most of us struggle with setting healthy boundaries, and I definitely see that as a form of self-love. Could you please expand on that and give us some tools on being able to setting boundaries and putting our needs first?
You will, as you go through life, no matter what type of upbringing you had, you will feel uncomfortable. You will know when your boundary is being crossed because it will bother you right in your chest, right here. Something is wrong. Something is bothering you. Be conscious of your emotions. Be conscious of your feelings. But also remember, the person who created that feeling within you is not at fault. That person is there to help you understand your boundaries. Does that make sense?
Yes, so the lesson will continue repeating itself.
Yes. Until you finally decide, you know what, I don't want this anymore, and I'm going to communicate it It has to do with communication, but you first have to sit with yourself and figure it out. What is it that is feeling off? What are the emotions that are coming up? What are the layers underneath those emotions? There are many layers to your emotions. Therefore, as you figure those out, writing, it's up to you if you wish to write. Writing, we find humans are very good at writing things. It helps the brain to understand them. And then you communicate to the other party however you wish to. This is my boundary. The other party has a choice to react however they choose to react. They'll react however they want to, based on what they need to learn. They might react positively, they might not.
One of the big subjects also is self-worth.
Yes.
Many are struggling with that. And how could they heal that part? Could you offer some guidance?
Working with beliefs about yourself. Your belief, if you've never worked on your beliefs, on how it is that you see yourself and who you are, most likely your understanding of who you are is based on what other people have told you as you were growing up. But deep down, there is a knowledge of who you are. Therefore, sit down and write it out. What is it that I believe I am? Who am I? And if your beliefs are more negative than positive, more judgmental rather than loving, pay attention to that. And then you can start with remembering, when is it that someone told me this and I decided to have this as my belief about myself? Again, not to blame that person. You can thank them within your mind. Because if they did not put that not so pleasant belief about yourself,